This here is a test of a few different light bulbs to see what kind of dirty electricity they produce. We'll be using this Gram-Stetzer meter, which gives us a number of Stetzer units. We're looking for anything under 25. Basically, this measures the RF interference on your household wiring that can be put on by electronic devices, like the electronics that are in some of these light bulbs. So right now we have a halogen light plugged in, and you'll see when I turn this off, there's no difference in the reading. I'm going to cycle through a few options here. This is a 40 watt compact fluorescent. You're going to see that this is going to put quite a bit on the house wiring here. So see the numbers jump up to about 380. So this is not something that you'd really want to be having in your home if you can avoid it. Next I'm going to try this. Let me zoom in on the model numbers here. The first three, focus. Here we go. These are all made by Philips. It's 750 looms, 13 watts, but it's actually supposed to be a 75 watt equivalent reflector bulb. These two, this is a 40 watt equivalent and a 60 watt equivalent. You can see the loom numbers there. These are also both Philips bulbs. And this is by Ultratech. And I've actually found quite a few of the Ultratech ones are pretty good when it comes to dirty electricity. They don't produce much at all. This is, I believe, a 40 watt equivalent. Again, it's a reflector bulb, so you can see it's a little bit smaller. This one's a little bit bigger. This one doesn't have the frosted surface, so it makes, you can kind of see the individual 6 lights, which I don't really love, but it's just something to test out. And these actually are pretty decent. So let's see what kind of numbers they produce here on the meter. So from the spotlight, we got about 62 or so. So that's up from 25. Next, we'll try the 40 watt Philips. That brings us up to 80, 82, 83. For the 40 watt, and this is the 60 watt equivalent. And this brings us up to 170. And the Ultratech brings us up to 50. So I've tested quite a few bulbs. In general, I've found that the Ultratech are actually, out of the different models that I've tested, in general, the best for not putting a lot of interference on your lines. Now the Philips, I think Philips has spent a lot of time doing research and producing really good bulbs, and I'm really happy with their bulbs. I find that the light out of them are the most even, the most soft, and out of any of the bulbs that I've tested, the Philips all seem to do the best with a dimmer switch. So if you have a dimmer switch in your house, I'd really recommend those. Although you see here, they do put some dirty electricity on your household wiring that you do want to avoid. There's filters that you can install in your house called, well, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're made by the same company, Gram-Stetzer, and they really do a good job at removing that dirty electricity. They just plug right into your wall outlet. And in a later video, I might show you how those work. But if you get a couple of those and some good energy efficient lighting, I think it's a very good way to go. Although you still probably want to stay away from the compact fluorescents because they really produce way too much to even be filtered out. So that's all for now.